hopefully nothing else will randomly stop working, as if anyone was around, you might have noticed it randomly decided that it did not like our intro slides, but only specific ones of them. I don't know why. Uh, it OBS has been fighting me this weekend, guys. Like, it has legitimately been fighting me this weekend. I had to restart at the very start of stream on Friday because it was just like, no, we don't like the window that you're pulling cameras from. Weird.
Cool, that's cool.
But anyway,
How are we for sound generally? I know I can hear you.
yes, I
I
am
think we're good.
seeing activity.
Heck yeah, the
I,
lines are doing line things.
yes, the lines are doing line things. I am seeing activity now. Yeah. But to get us started on this absolute disaster of a weekend of gaming, I am Evie, the disaster GM. My pronouns are she, there, any, and I am the GM for this fine if disastrous crew in this absolutely fucking disastrous stream already. Let's go around introducing ourselves. Amanda.
Hello, everyone. My name is Amanda, aka Panda Cobra. I use she, her pronouns, and I will be playing Varen Lek today, who also is she, her. The weird adept who dances with dark matter and siphons power. Alina, you go.
It's me, I'm Alina. My pronouns are they, them, and today I will be playing Kale, who is also they, them. They are a empathic explorer who helps their friends and has the soul of a dragon. Let's pass it over to Matt.
Thank you. My name is Matt. He, him pronouns. I'm playing Fang Wu, he, they pronouns, who is very intimidated by all this expensive stuff that he's afraid of accidentally breaking. So he's trying to be chill. And I'll pass it over to Joel.
Hello, I am Joel. I will be playing Bal Misforge, whose character sheet I have open on a different tab, who is an appealing speaker that arises from the depths and shepherd spirits, and is currently speaking the shit out of a guy. Yep, I said what I said. All right, Evie, go.
You certainly said something. We're a little punchy today, if you haven't noticed.
Because she's a speaker, you know. She's speaking.
Yeah, you're gonna cause him to defecate on himself. Okay, good to know. Anyway, so this is Empyrean Wilds, an adventure, like a fantasy adventure cipher system based TTRPG, and we happen to air theoretically every other Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific, and barring scheduling mishaps, because scheduling mishaps and the fact that it's convention season and people have work and lives and family and stuff, but to be notified when this or our other games go live, because we do have other games that you can come and attend and watch and participate in as the chat things. I'm on cold meds. I'm sorry. My brain is fuzzy.
Including a brand new game that just debuted this past Friday.
A brand new game that did just debut. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Follow if you're watching on Twitch, so that you can be notified when this or the other games happen to go live. And indeed, we do have another game that literally just premiered on Friday. It was a great session with some wonderful people, and we hope to see you guys in the chat there. I know you are still mourning the fact that work got in the way of you being there. look at how sad Joel is. It's adorable. But yes, so we run every other weekend, schedules allowing, at 3 p.m.-ish Eastern. So go ahead and subscribe, follow, click all the little clicky buttons so that you can know when we happen to go live. In addition, we are still raising funds for World Central Kitchen. Donate, there we go. If you are watching on Twitch, you should be able to click a button just to donate directly, or you can follow the Tiltify link that is in the chat. which will take you to our Tiltify 4 World Central Kitchen, benefiting the Chefs for Gaza portion of their charity. And no portion of the donations go to AEA or any of its affiliates. Help, excuse me, help me. Help if you can, do what you can. The world is on fire. But with all of that out of the way, we'll go ahead and roll into focusing on today's session. Hopefully, my brain continues functioning, and hopefully OBS continues functioning, because fuck you, OBS. We at the Archives would like to remind you that this is an adult content rated game with depictions of violence and gore, possible mentions of loss or trauma, and or similar content. We do our best not to cross each other's lines, but for those watching, you have been warned. Last time, after having made contact with this artifact collector that they had heard rumors about, T'Pol Pilko, up in the kind of northwesternish area of the city-state of Polyerna, they finally were able to tour the collection of his artifacts, the ones that he has out on display that are cleaned and theoretically in working order, though he doesn't make much use of them. While looking around his estate, they've seen a variety of things that have been, we'll say, scavenged from a variety of ruins of old and made use of in the home, including some of those sliding panel doors and the strange material relief walls depicting scenes in history. There were a variety of artifacts that were of good interest to the group that they found in this collection while looking around. Among them being a strange case that held a shadow of some kind. One of the copper dragon depictions that Kale is fairly certain is one of the dragons of their heritage, and of about 3 puzzle pieces to the artifact puzzle that Bal is attempting to recreate by purview of the god that they worship. At the end of the session, after having done a little bit of chat in terms of what they might be able to bargain away from Mr. Pilko, they did come to the we'll at least test what's going on with this shadow box, see if we can find out a little bit more about it because of the potential connection that it might have to Varen, who also possesses shadow powers. Upon opening it, out in the courtyard where it was not going to create too much conflict within the home, and with T'Pol's daughter having been sent away for the experiments that they were doing, Varen released the beast within the case, and it turned out to be a bipedal, somewhat humanoid, shadowy figure, looming like wisping smoke, that upon emergence immediately seemed to depict Varen's deepest fears. Speaking to her in the appearance somewhat and the voice of her father, and then that shadowy voice that she's heard multiple times at this point in the back of her mind, now audible almost to everyone, telling her that she just needed to give in, that she needed to let it help, because otherwise everything was going to go wrong and everyone was going to leave her. Varen did succeed in her intellect defense against this creature that had been released, and it managed to bring the creature to heel, causing it to strugglingly kneel down and offer its service to Varen for that moment. If she had not succeeded, it was revealed that this creature would have attacked the nearest creatures being her and anyone else, prior to being summoned back into the box. They do not know where it came from. They do not really even know solidly what it was, though some was vaguely figured out in that it does not seem to know or remember anything prior to the box, and mostly it knows hunger. But with that information freshly in their mind, and with the shadow creature having disappeared into nothingness as the box seemingly closed itself, they are left in the mid to late afternoon, out in the courtyard, the box on one of the benches that is provided, and T'Pal with his guards arrayed in various locations, watching and making a couple of notes.
Varen, are you all right?
It was strong, but I think I can. It was a little bit terrifying, if I'm gonna be honest, but
You
I
did
could
very
handle it.
well. You did very well bringing it under control and handling the questions.
For now, yeah. We're just have to be careful because we're gonna have to do that every single time. So if we're not prepared for it, it could potentially come to literally bite us, as it were.
Oh, there had not been agreement to take this out of the collection. It was more to inspect it and run some experiments with it. This is quite a dangerous thing, and were you to lose it, any unsuspecting individual could fall victim to it. So this is not one that I feel comfortable just allowing to leave.
And that's honestly probably for the best. Especially since it's going to require quite a bit of a strong will to take it, to make sure that it doesn't attack, as it were, especially since I know we got some people like your daughter here, so make sure that no one ever tries to open the box unless there's someone here that could bring it under heel.
It is concerning, but she has been very good at not disturbing things that she understands are deadly.
I would definitely let her know this one is quite deadly.
She has been.
Yeah, so your assumptions of its deadliness is founded, is what we're finding out.
So, how do you feel at present?
I'm a little exhausted, but nothing I haven't felt before.
Any lingering thoughts or after effects beyond exhaustion? And he's writing these things down.
Well, it tried to convince me that if I wasn't gonna, handle this correctly, everyone I knew and loved was gonna leave me and abandon me and leave me to flounder. But as you can see, that's not true. And she gestures over to everyone that's been standing around. It's like, they trust me. They've tried to get rid of me. It hasn't been quite that easy.
Fear of abandonment, I would assume, in that case, as your underlying terror?
Yeah, I would say that's probably the top fear. The other ones being eaten like a rotten potato that I didn't realize was rotten, and accidentally stepping on the foot of like a kitty cat or something. Like that's probably also up there in my fears. But yeah, no, I would say if I had to rank them, the fear of abandonment's probably going to be one of the top ones.
He looks a lot like he has no idea how to respond to the other listed supposed great fears of Varen.
You know, it's really funny. As a player, I'm terrified of spiders, so I think it's really hilarious that she just has this like murder bug and is just completely not bothered
yeah.
by it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Way too many legs.
Fear of abandonment, fear of eating a rotten potato, and fear of stepping on a kitty cat paw.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Solid fears.
Yeah, very. But yeah, so he just kind of stares at you for a solid minute, and you're kind of used to this at this point because people react to you in their own special way. And then turns to the others of you. Everyone go ahead and make an intellect, like observation type of roll.
Is this reading people?
Yes. Well, not
Then I am
really reading
trained.
people. It's something that he noticed during the shadow interaction that we're seeing if you
interesting.
guys noticed.
I'm also trained in perception. I'm going to put 2 effort on this.
Okay.
Brings it down by 3. Oh, and I rolled a 17.
I rolled a 14.
12.
12. All right. So, what all is modified for everyone? Like, do you have training in perception, observation, your surroundings, things like that?
Supernatural knowledge.
I can see through deception.
Okay.
Otherwise,
I'm down 3
I'm
steps for trained in effort. So
I
Okay.
barely know where I am.
inability with pleasant social interaction.
Okay.
Oh, I guess I can put 1 free level of effort because I have 4 edge on intellect.
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So, I believe that Kale had the highest roll as well as the highest number of assets to
It's
it.
like I'm empathetic or something.
So, anyone that with their rolls would have beat a base difficulty 5. So, training, anything that would help you with that, so 15 or better, unless you have like easing off of that. So I think that the only person to have noticed would have been Kale, because you rolled a 17 plus you had the other things added into that.
I imagine Kale's been scrutinizing the collector pretty closely because they've got
It is
a lot
not
of
the
questions.
collector. It's not the collector.
Interesting.
It's something that he noticed that he is about
Oh.
to say that you would basically realize when he mentions it.
Okay, cool.
So the reason why you had this one check was what's going on there. And he's pointing, and Kale, you're the only one that really realizes it and makes the connection. Varen's shadow is not in the same direction as the light and other shadows of the courtyard would indicate.
Oh,
It is stretching in a very specific direction, and it is not towards the box.
is it towards our destination?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Huh. Kale does like a very subtle double take where they look over and then they look over harder and they look up into the distance. And then they'll lock eyes with Varen.
Yeah, and Varen and the other 3 have not noticed this, because
Yeah.
noticing the direction that a shadow is just passively laying versus where it, like if it were moving around, because it's not like it's writhing or anything. It is just as if she is casting a shadow in that direction versus
Yeah.
towards where everything else is pointed.
I just look at the other regions like, well, I also have another fear, but it's kind of graphic.
Oh, do tell, I suppose. I don't know.
Well,
Oh.
sometimes there's like this type of like fly that like buries under the skin of like some of the pack animals, and sometimes I worry that that's going to happen to me, and so that's also another fear of mine. So I would say that's probably a little bit like that's like above rotten potato, but not quite as bad as like fear of abandonment. I'd probably say.
That's understandable, yes. Not exactly what I meant, but
Would you mind if I tried something there? And I just need to touch your shadow.
Oh, all right. That's fine with me. I'm not really
All right,
sure
I'll
what you
just-
mean by that, but
Come around behind you here for a moment. Just don't move. I won't touch you. And Kale is gonna like kneel down and then like poke at the shadow.
just a passive
Just
poke.
just poking it.
It feels like the ground.
Yep.
Hmm.
Huh.
All of you would be able to very easily see Kale do this, and T'Pal is taking copious notes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he does not seem bothered by the fact that this is
Walking
happening.
around in a circle, Varen? Like just everyone watch
okay.
watch Varen's shadow.
should I be watching the shadow too? And she's just gonna start like trying to like walk around in a circle, and her head is just trying to be on a swivel, but not quite.
Can I get just a general speed check for reflexes to
Yes.
not trip over things as you are very distracted by trying to
Just
watch
take
your
a
own
header.
shadow?
Just 12.
Okay, good enough.
I probably trip over my own feet, but that's about it.
Yeah, it's nothing major. You're not like full on face planting. But yeah, so it's just. You do notice that as shadows are wont to do, it continues being cast in the direction that it was originally cast. It's not moving strangely. If you're just watching your shadow, you can make one more perception check to see if you notice that it's in a different direction than the other shadows. Because with the time of day, it is something that would be obvious to someone looking for it.
Yeah, I'm going to put a level of effort onto that.
Okay.
That was a nat one, so never mind.
Okay. You have no idea. It's a shadow. It looks completely normal. You almost catch on to something, and then that's when you kind of trip over your feet. And like, yeah, no, it's a shadow. It moved the way that you moved when you tripped, even the way that shadows do. Fong and Ball, if you would like to also make new perceptions, assuming that you are following Kale's instruction of watching the shadow, you may do so.
Oh yeah. Bal will do anything Kale tells him to do.
Aw.
Aww.
That was a 5. I
Me
was trying to-
too.
Oh, twist! Did we succeed because we mad?
Like, it's just a difficulty too. So Fong, because Fong is trained in perception by being in your presence, notices
Oh.
it. Bal
Wait,
does
I have
not.
I keep forgetting to add it because it's technically automatic, but I do have a level of effort for free because of my
Okay.
edge.
Okay.
If I forget to mention it, let's assume it's always applied.
Okay.
It's supposed to be. I just keep forgetting.
Okay. So you barely notice, and it's only really as Varen is kind of coming to the end of walking in the circle and not really noticing what's going on, because like it really did just drop from a 5 to a 2 from it being pointed out to you. Wait, okay, yeah, it is moving with her the way that a shadow should, but it should be going that way, and it's going that way instead.
I imagine she's like standing beside Kale, and their shadows are just like, right?
Mhm.
The shadow has a very subtle rumbling sound as Varen moves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Huh. Curious.
No, that's actually Billy Bob or Billy
Bobby Joe.
Bobby Joe. Bobby Joe.
I called him Bobby Billy Brown earlier.
Billy
Yeah.
Bobby Brown.
Yeah. Yeah. That's just Bobby Joe chewing on a random. Yeah, a random. We'll call it bench or like decorative thing. Yeah.
It's like Sage's part of the game.
Yeah.
Providing Foley. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, it does appear that we might have a compass for our journey.
That's good.
So this is new, or perhaps something that hasn't been noticed, or
In fact, they've been weird the whole time. This is just an additional layer to it.
I wonder if it has to do with proximity. We are getting closer.
I hadn't noticed it before till now, so I'd assume it's new-ish.
did you tell Varen what was going on, or is
I
Varen
don't
just
know
playing
what's going
along?
on, but
Okay.
I'm just playing
Just
along.
Spirit, would you mind trying to, I know this will sound very mad, but trying to grab your shadow?
I can, sure. So I kneel down and reach out.
Okay.
Grab it.
Are you using an ability to control shadows, or are you just trying to grab the ground?
I'm just trying to grab the ground right now.
You grab some clover from where it is growing on the ground, and it is in your hand. Because it
Okay.
is still just a shadow.
Yeah.
Interesting. I
Brilliant.
suppose that's good rather than it being tangible.
Is it supposed to be tangible?
Oh, I dearly hope not.
Oh, okay. That's probably good.
I think this is one of those things where I don't think anybody in the world knows what's going on.
Interesting.
No.
Concerning, but interesting.
That has been the motto of my life since I went to Isenbridge the first time.
And
Anything else you'd like me to try?
May I offer
let
a
us-
suggestion?
oh, go ahead.
Well, how about you close your eyes and just think about something that you want really, really hard.
But like when it's like something I want, like is it like something that's like tangible, or is it something that's kind of like
I don't know.
okay? I think I got it. I think I got it in mind. Okay. Okay, closing my eyes now.
What is Varen thinking about, and does it make her emotional, or like how does she react to the thought process?
Okay, so her first thought was she really wants a blueberry muffin, but then her second thought is that she ultimately still wants to figure out what's going on with the shadow magic, with the shadows, because that is ultimately her goal, is to figure out what it is and why it's affecting her. And so the idea that she is somewhere where it's acting differently, kind of like it's a little scary, but also very exciting. So she is getting like, she's like, okay, we're getting close to like a place that sounds like I think that like, oh, maybe this is like the good spot. Maybe I'm actually going to finally get an answer. Maybe I'll find someone who knows what's going on. So that is her thought process.
Okay. And you said like general excitement. Is it like mounting, or is it kind of a little bit of muted and confused because you're not fully sure of what's going on?
A little bit of like the confusion. It's like she's like kind of in the moment of like, don't want to get my hopes up too much that this is what it is, but I'm just gonna cautiously be excited for it because it is different. So
Okay.
I don't know if it's good different or bad different at the moment. So I'd also, like I said, don't want to get my hopes up, but this is new.
Okay.
So
There is no perceptible difference to her shadow.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Unfortunate. That would have been great.
she got ups her eyes like, is it am I not wanting it hard enough? Is that do you think that's
Might I ask, are you. What are you attempting for her to do by thinking about something she wants?
Well, something that I've noticed in my time being weird is that when something weird happens to somebody, it typically is something they have somewhat of a say in it. So I wanted to see if maybe it would be pointing towards something she wanted or needed.
Like a desire compass?
Yes.
Hmm.
I've heard stories from fellow sailors, and she sort of leans a little bit that might be a thing, sort of like a compass that doesn't point north.
Interesting concept. Uh, Valid attempt. Yes. Write something down.
I reckon if I can change my tentacle into other aquatic creatures, I figured you might be able to do something similar to her shadow.
Perhaps. Valid theory. Uh,
I find with these things, you rather have to look outside the box a lot of the times. There's no established protocols for what any of this might be or do.
well,
Mhm.
perhaps, Varen, while focusing on what you want, focus on being pointed in that direction, perhaps, if this is the theory that we are working with.
Ooh.
hmm. Okay, I can try that. So just she focuses on the direction. She kind of like watches the shadow and kind of turns around until she thinks she's facing the correct way. Um okay. So I'm facing there. Should I just try to Okay, I'm gonna try this again.
So, what direction are you facing and what are you focusing on?
So what direction so the shadow's going kind of the opposite of where everyone is in the room, is that
Yes, because of the time of day, the shadows are kind of moving a little bit more towards. So it would go a little bit more towards, like, catty cornered to the house, whereas yours are not like a full opposite angle where you're currently standing, but significantly more south. So it's
Hmm.
sort of like if the minute hand is at like 3-ish no, not 3ish. It is at 6ish, like just a little bit past
Mhm.
6. Everybody's
Mhm.
else's on the hour is a little bit more towards 1.
Huh.
That's a big
Oh,
difference.
that's a
Yeah.
huge difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like it's almost facing like almost south at this point because we've been going up north.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's what Kale meant about having a compass now.
Mm-hmm.
as she's focusing, I'm going to activate my bubble of protection. Not to use the actual ability, but sort of as a flavor way to give the help action.
Okay.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of like quieting down the sounds around her so she can really hone in on what she's doing.
Okay.
Okay.
And again, what direction are you focusing on, Amanda? Or like what direction
Mm-hmm.
are you facing, and what are you focusing on for like what she is desiring and wanting it to point towards?
At this point, I feel like she is facing south, and she, instead of just focusing on a general like I want someone to give me answers, she refocuses on the grandmother.
Okay. Make an intellect roll, please.
Okay, and I'm also going to put some effort onto that intellect as well. Ooh, I'm going to use a cipher to re-roll that, actually.
Oof.
How is it 13? Is that better?
13. 13
It is higher.
helps.
Okay.
You can, at this point, because you are now aware of what's going on
Mm-hmm.
and focusing on it and trying to shift it, it is not pointing towards a desire. It is a shadow is cast. If there is no light, if there is no figure, then there is no shadow. So shadows are kind of like a reflection of something, or a mirror of something. It's going to be affected by something else.
Mm.
And you can feel your shadow's connection, because of your shadow abilities, to the forest. This is not something that the shadow has always done, you're pretty sure, but possibly because you are getting closer, or possibly because magic in the world is getting stronger, you can feel that your shadow is specifically pulled in that direction. But that also means that you can feel your shadow. You can write on your sheet that you can now use your siphon ability if your shadow touches someone else's, as if it were making physical contact with that individual.
Oh no.
All right. I'm writing that down. Interesting.
Joel's just like, wait, what?
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
I would also like to do a little bit of something of a little bit cheeky thing, if that's possible.
Okay.
I want to use my new ability. I don't think Bal knows that this is what's going to be happening, but as I watch Varen go over this, and Amanda, you can mix this at any time if you want to. I would like to activate mind reading.
Okay.
Oh
Okay.
no.
Yes.
That's why I said you can mix it. But Bal is specifically trying to see if she can get anything. Well, or me as a player, I'm trying to see if I can get anything other than Varen's mind voice in this moment.
Okay. So because it is player versus player,
Mm-hmm.
Amanda can either choose as a player to fail the roll, or it is roll off of Varen's intellect defense versus your ability.
Also, you can 100% say that you don't want to do this, and I have no problem with that. To be very clear,
Yeah.
I want.
I know that this can be sort of like a finicky topic for people.
I am totally down to do it as a roll off.
Sweet.
It's my defense.
You're gonna win because I roll like ass. It is 2 intellect points which are free. Does that also roll over to what if I put effort into the roll?
Yeah, because you can only apply effort once per action, essentially. The mind reading is an action, so you can do it for free, but then you only have one left over for your first level of effort.
Okay.
Which, if you are not aware that that's what you are doing, then I would say, as GM, at least for the moment, you cannot apply effort.
Yeah.
Because you have to be aware to apply effort.
I wasn't gonna anyway. I'm just this is the first time I've had to sort of think about it.
Yeah, no. Valid. Very valid.
I don't tend to have abilities that require me to do things. So,
Yeah.
Or like Val is a big enabler when it comes to her build.
Yeah, you
I
don't have a
rolled
lot of
12.
action activation.
Yeah,
A what?
12.
12? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Versus?
Versus my 3, I did fail that roll.
Yeah, but you say that you haven't rolled well, but Amanda also hasn't been rolling well today.
Yeah. Not too great so far this session.
Okay. So, at least it's just been today so far.
Yeah.
So, Val would get your surface thoughts, and then you can choose 1 or 2 deeper thoughts, but mind reading is not intended as a, like, deep probe.
Yeah, I can even if somebody doesn't want me to, I am able to read their minds. But it's not like I'm not in the library looking for books. It's just whatever's happening right at the top.
So what does Val get as your surface thoughts, and maybe 1 or 2 deeper tie-ins to that? Something that would be related to the surface thoughts.
So the surface thought is immediately like, oh, of course, like my shadow is going to be like at a weird angle. That just is like, great. That's one more thing that is weird about me that everyone noticed that I didn't notice. And I don't know how to fix that. And I don't know if that's something that can be fixed. So, and I don't know if it's one thing that needs to be fixed. And the deeper thought is, what if it's calling me to a greater power, and what am I going to do with that? And I think there is a very subtle question. You're not sure if you get the full question, but in her mind she's like, it's been tempting me with power, but what if I can't overcome where it's taking me?
I was gonna look at Varen, and if it hadn't been for the fact that Sybil exists, she wouldn't know what's going on. But this is not Bao's first encounter with the mind reading thing. So she just stares at Varen and then turns to Kale and goes, I think Sybil might be rubbing off more on me than I thought. Let's pretend I phrased that correctly, please.
What do you mean?
And I point
Oh.
at Varen.
You?
Hmm?
Oh, did you mean to?
I haven't
well.
been meaning to do most things lately.
That's new?
Mm-hmm.
You don't think it was your patron's influence? Maybe, yes?
I feel like this is the sort of thing that would be very good for change making.
I, you're not wrong.
I don't feel like the dead really have them. So
Right. So we'll deal with that later because it does sound like there's starting to be a link between the living and the dead, and that's a whole other thing. But it does stand in keeping with your patron. Yes. Okay. Thank you for letting me know. Uh, I have a lot of theories about a lot of things right now.
mm-hmm.
Don't know if any of them are correct, but there's a lot happening.
I I think this is the moment where Bao realizes that there's still at least 3 other people listening to this conversation. I've got to go shit. This is her very lazy attempt at justifying the conversation.
If you say so, one of the guards can lead you to the privy.
Sure, yeah, that'd be great.
Was it something that you ate?
Mm.
I did not intend to serve anything that would be of such. You sound like you are in a great deal of discomfort.
Mm-hmm.
Lead her to the restroom.
And then she's like gonna listen to unintentionally listening to the thoughts of the guard, and it's like, oh, my stomach. Oh. She's going to in the process like try to figure out how to stop it.
Yeah, the guard is pretty much just going, okay, this way, this way, this way. Arms distance. Here, here. And then out loud, I hope it doesn't stink. Or in their mind, I hope it doesn't reek. And then in here, there should be a couple of incense to burn as well, if necessary.
Okay.
Light a candle.
Thank you. And I'm just gonna.
And you can still hear them outside because you can still hear their thoughts.
There's a vocal sound that Bao makes as soon as the door is closed.
Well,
Do you want some surface thoughts? Because
just wait until after shift. You can go get a drink. It's not that bad. You're paid a lot. It's not that bad.
She calls out from inside, "Stop thinking!"
What?
Ah.
I do hope Bella's okay.
I
Right.
am not paid enough to assist you.
Right. Well, that was a very interesting trial. Mr. Pilko, do you have any other questions about anything?
Does stress normally upset her stomach like that? It seems like an improper career path, if so.
She's under a lot of stress right now.
which is
Been a long journey.
if you say so. So would you care to explain what's going on with this? And like just gestures at the shadow again. Varen, in the meantime, while this conversation with Bal and Kale was going on, because it was in reference to you without being blatantly in reference to you, so are you still focusing, or are you still kind of letting yourself react?
I feel like I'm just letting myself react at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fong, what are you up to?
Look, once Fong realized the shadow thing, I mean, I think that he feels really out of his depth. He's screwed up a lot talking with this collector person. And so he's like, I think of him as being like the kid who's like, oh my gosh, everything I think of is probably gonna screw stuff up. So the best I can do is hold my hands behind my back and stand and just look down.
Oh no, not for Fong.
Poor Fong. Oh, okay. Well, we've got Varen probably having a slight internal crisis. Fong trying to not touch anything, apparently. So with all of that, he does just kind of gesture with a hand like this to the shadow. Like, so would you care to explain, either of you, honestly speaking? Any type of, if not explanation, I can understand that. Information is valuable after all, but apparently this is enough of a awareness or connection to where you felt it necessary to experiment with one of the more dangerous items in my collection.
Varen, this is your information to give if you so choose.
Well, I'm not sure if I can explain it. Is the thing. I'm not sure if I quite have the words still.
That's something that happens sometimes.
Like the shadows, they can protect me, and I can use them sort of like a weapon sometimes. And then I can also take from objects and people.
Interesting. Valuable information. Interesting. It's odd. But valuable information. Perhaps...
Mr. Pilgod, we have given information to you, but we know very little about you other than your role as a collector.
A collector of antiques, yes. I was a anthropologist. My interest laid mostly in historical anthropology as opposed to modern, but there were a good bit of research and some such when I was younger. Graduated from the academy out in Isenbridge, actually. My brother is a bit more of the archaeologist of them, but we worked together, and through research and history, I found a love for the items that were unearthed and how they could interact with the day-to-day.
You seem more open to the idea of magic having strange effects. Were you at all affected when magic reawoken? The changes that you see in myself and my companions?
Not that I'm aware of, but according to some of the theories, that is something that happens gradually over time. So, not yet.
Interesting. Usually the people who are the most open to these magics are ones who have had some changes themselves. But perhaps your study of the past is what has made you more open to these things that seem impossibilities, but in this new world are very much not.
Oh, there's plenty of historical evidence of this happening. It gets interesting in terms of the various ages of it.
The cyclical nature of the rise and fall.
Yes, there are schools of thought, we shall say, and he sits down on one of the benches. There's schools of thought. There's those who believe that it's not necessarily cyclical, simply due to the duration of the periods. They believe that it was, and then it wasn't. And something had caused the loss of that power, and so long had passed that obviously that meant it wasn't coming back. And then there were those of us who believed that it was inevitable, as there had been some much older histories that indicated that it does happen in patterns. But these were harder to come by, and of differing languages, and so it's somewhat of an argument among historians, though how things are occurring within these past couple of years does indicate that the school of thought that I am part of was correct. And he smiles.
Yes. I think those who believe that magic dies and is never to return are of a shorter term thinking school of thought.
Yes.
And are proven wrong in time.
Even the masters of thought within the area that I believed in, when last I spoke to them, which I will admit that it has been a few years, there's a good bit of arrogance there that I just don't like to deal with. They projected that it might be another 50 to 200 years before it came back. There was...
This is very variable.
That was more of a mathematical equation rather than, anything else. But the advancement, and he looks like he's really starting to get into it, the advancement of mutations over the past generation or two did indicate that it was going to happen much sooner. I did not believe, honestly, that it would still be my generation. I thought it would be a little bit more of a gradual increase than it currently has. I think this has honestly been the fastest of the records that we have managed to uncover. But it's neither here nor there. It is happening, and we must deal with the fact that it is happening. Which is why I was attempting to make sure that what artifacts I have recovered, as brilliant as they are, were in proper working order, so that should something happen, should an awakening occur, either in my generation or my daughter's, that it would not cause too much disturbance.
That's actually very wise and forward-thinking of you. I know a lot of people who are drawn to the power of these artifacts and not necessarily fully understanding of the dangers that they also pose, especially once their powers are fully awakened.
Well,
Things like the box.
well,
as
unless
we've
they
witnessed.
were categorized when they were found with descriptions and a how-to manual, there's very little that indicates what they might do before you use them, essentially, before they wake up and you use them. So
Yes.
protective shielding around them. The each of the cases, I'm proud to say, is reworked from a variety of display cases and the non-glass that they used in a variety of the ruins, so that it might
Interesting.
better protect the devices inside. And they are cleaned and maintained and left on a shelf on display, lest they inadvertently be activated. And they are an excellent source of study, but I don't know that we even have the knowledge or the history or the ability at the moment to recreate the majority of them, which is why they must be preserved for study and later recreation. Generation or two, perhaps.
I, while he's talking, want to do a deep read of this guy's heart.
Okay. Would you like to describe?
I am going to do my empathetic at him. I'm going to be very empathetic.
Okay.
And I am going to put a lot of effort on this.
Okay.
I'm going to dump 3 effort and 1 trained.
Okay.
And just be like, is what this guy saying is true, and can I trust him with more information?
Okay.
Because he needs to know some things about some of the artifacts he has, and I want to make sure I can trust this guy.
Okay.
All right. So that was only an 11 on the roll.
But you have 4 eases?
Forced. Yeah.
Okay. So as far as you can tell, while he is arrogant, he is telling the truth. Primarily because he kind of believed that it might happen in like the next 10 to 50 years, like a couple of decades, and thus would be at its height, or at least starting at its height, while his daughter would be like a teenager or adult. So it was less of a personal drive for power, because while he was collecting these, as far as you can tell, he did not believe that they would be able to be activated. So it is like art pieces to him.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of general like vibe that you're getting of the way that he's describing this and the way that he's talking. So now he's got a collection of potentially extremely potent items that he's just like, there's no way that any of us can know how these are created, so I'm just preserving them now as shiny art pieces until we get someone that can deal with them now, or learn enough from them to where we can recreate these types of things.
So Ball is not there to see Kale, but would be the most familiar with this. Fong and Varen. Kale does this thing sometimes with you, not as often, but like if they're meeting somebody new that they don't quite trust, they will just get them into a conversation and get them started talking, and then they'll just sit and listen and like lock eyes and listen very deeply. Like they are looking into that person's soul. And afterwards, they seem to make a decision about this guy and kind of nod to themselves, look over at the two of you, and give like the subtlest of nods. And then they'll look back to him and say, well, through our travels, we've gathered a great deal of information about quite a lot of unusual things. And through our own experiences, I'm sure you're able to see that all of us have been touched by these changes and this magic. Perhaps in greater ways than others you may have come across before. We have recognized several of the things in your collection and can give you aid in deciphering what they are, if you wish it.
Some of them have been identified to an extent. Not all of them. The pieces that your friend wishes to acquire, as far as I can tell, are simply that. They are parts of a whole that did not look like they belonged together, but after inspecting the device that she has, it does look like that they would fit. And I am...
That's one I'm afraid we can't give you answers to just yet either, other than to say we know that they are important to bring together.
There are some that are not on display, that I have fewer bits of information on, and then there are some that are on display that are simply, we know that there's something special about them, but what exactly it is it that you believe that you've discovered that I have not?
That dragon statue that you have.
The idol, yes.
It's more than that. It's not just an idol or a depiction of a dragon. It is, in and of itself, a dragon.
So, you say?
So I know.
So I have a dragon in a case in my house.
Yes.
Is this one of those things where the device comes to life and does things for you? Is that
no.
one of these is? Okay.
It is better to say that right now it is sleeping, and when it finds its person, its match, it will awaken, and then it will have to leave your collection because it will no longer be yours. The two that are matched sort of belong to one another in a way. There's a deep bond there, but it would not be right of you to keep it at that point.
And how exactly am I to know how to reach this match of this dragon?
They will find it when it is their time.
Will they not then find it here? Milo.
Such a cute kitty. You said that your daughter has been attracted to it.
Yes, it's a favorite.
Is it anything more than that it is just a pretty object of an interesting creature? I mean, I have questions for her, but you haven't felt any connection with it.
It was quite obviously something different. There's a certain sense to artifacts, at least those that hold power, but nothing more than the others that are within the correct collection.
It's still sleeping.
Well, obviously if it sleeps, I am not its pair, but again, it is my daughter's favourite, and if it is not currently dangerous, I am loath to give it up to a group of strangers, if you are not too offended by that, on their word that it is a sleeping creature. If should this happen at some point, as you say, I will I will endeavour to not hold back to it. And that is all that I can
Good.
promise.
Good. Val, are you all right in there?
Val went into the house. You guys are still in the courtyard.
Good.
You would be able to end it at some point, Val, and the guy would have gradually changed to having a song in his head so that he doesn't have to think about the fact that he just had to lead a guest with an upset stomach to the restroom and what might be going on in there.
I am going to sing along to it, but like slightly higher pitched and like I am in agony.
You can't tell,
Wait a
but he
minute.
does have his hands over his ears. He has not moved position, though.
Once it goes away for realsies, I will come out,
Okay.
and then my hands are gonna be a little wet, and then I'm just gonna pat him in the back, like, thank you, and just walk down the hallway.
There's an obviously disgusted groan, but he follows after you.
Hello. That was an interesting situation.
Are you okay?
Mm-hmm. Yup. Very good. What have I missed?
I would suggest that it is probably... It might do you well to find a different mode of occupation if stress causes digestive upset the way that it seems to indicate with you. Just as kind advice.
No. I believe it was the blueberry muffin I ate this morning. I believe it may have been one of the ones I made on the ship.
Oh, that's been in your pocket a while.
Mm-hmm.
We are not quite near anywhere that would have ships, so that would certainly... Whew. Well, there is a medic in the nearby town should you need further assistance from food poisoning. I could potentially
No, it's all right. I
have
can heal
them
myself.
called. Okay.
Well, I was just saying to our friend here that we have information on a lot of different magical things that are unknown in most of the world right now, and that we might be able to help him identify at least some of the objects currently held in his collection and under his protection.
Oh yeah.
I was telling him about the dragon statue and some of what I know of it.
There's a moment of recognition in Bao's face as soon as you say that, of like, oh
We could trust this guy, yeah.
yeah,
Maybe. Yeah.
Kale trusts this guy, therefore I trust this guy.
Yeah.
And she go, oh, right, yeah. Sure. I've encountered quite a lot of magical items in our day. Something that gives shadow wings. A dart that, when placed upon a surface, creates a wall of force. I mean, I've got a box on my person that can manipulate gravity within a certain space. Among others, many others.
Fascinating. And you said you also read second age or third age, was it, Tritinian?
Yes. As long as I am able to hear a language, I am able to learn it.
You were saying that.
Yes.
I'd also be
I'll-
very interested in learning how you contain some of these artifacts. We have come across some that are quite dangerous, and it might be useful knowledge to know that there is some place that they can be brought where they will be safely contained.
I am going to have all 4 of you roll for social interaction.
Ooh.
Because Tapal, this entire time, while Bal has repeatedly attempted to convince him that you guys are basically chosen by the gods and on an actual mission, he keeps brushing it off as that's the same, like,
Bullshit. He's heard
bullshit that he's heard from specifically Islanus. And he knows that there is an issue with them. So
Whereas we're the real deal.
you guys are gradually starting to prove that stuff. So I would like a social interaction roll from all 4 of you. And we're going to essentially take the average of that on
some
how much
assets
belief.
I'm gonna put
From
3
Bal?
effort into this.
Yeah, I'm dumping some effort onto this too. I'm gonna dump
Means-
2 and my social interactions. So
which,
I'm
by the
free.
way, means I have to spend only 3 points.
Nice.
Right? Because I have 4 points of edge. That would be 3 for my first one, and then 1 from the second, which means it's 2 for the third attempt, and then
Yeah.
left over.
I'll spend 2 effort, which
Okay.
brings me down to 3 intellect now.
Oh, that's hurtful. That is hurtful.
I am also trained in puzzle social interactions, and I feel like we've been pretty pleasant
Yes.
to most of these people. Not the
Yes.
guard, though.
Yeah. So we've got 2 effort from Fong, 3 effort from Bao, 3 effort from Kale.
2 and a trained.
Okay. Okay.
4 from Bal. And then a roll of 15.
15. And I'm going to consider these efforts because this isn't like a target they're aiming for. I'm going to consider each level of effort and training plus 3 to your roll. So,
nice.
Bal's totals out to 14. Oh, 13?
That's so good.
13. Kale's totals out to what?
18?
18.
Is this 15 plus 3? Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Fong?
So I had 2 levels effort,
Okay.
effort, and I rolled 14.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Nice.
I didn't roll with anything and I rolled a 10.
Okay.
That'll do.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a pretty good average.
That averages
Yeah.
out to about 15
Okay.
across all 4 of you.
That's a difficulty 5.
So he just he looks at over all of you, and he's very obviously, especially to you, Kale, because you can read people, you're trained in reading people, he's very obviously trying to put together everything from all of these interactions thus far. You did come in with a very bad first impression on him,
Yeah.
but everything after the fact has kind of been supporting your initial claims. Come with me. Inside, come on. You, and he points at Varen, just try not to touch the box again, and stand where I'm not going to be standing in the strange shadow. He's like, but come inside. It's warm. I need a drink. So you really think that a god sent you? And he has picked up the case. And he's just kind of holding it out away from his body, but holding it.
1, I don't think so. I know so. I've spoken to about two deities, 2.5 deities. Now, second, do you mind if I have my sword accompany us? Your guards can hold it, I guess. I'm afraid about leaving it outside.
You're afraid now when you weren't before, because previously you had left it in the cart so that no one else would touch it, and now you're wanting to bring it in and they can touch it?
My understanding was that I left Corey with my sword.
Oh, if you wanted to leave Corey with the cart, yeah, then it was left with him, but...
Yeah, because he's armored and armed. I feel like he wouldn't be allowed in.
so long as he left his weapons behind, but yeah.
I'm essentially asking if I'm allowed to bring Corey in.
Fine. I did notice the armor that he's wearing, by the way, which is part of where the concern has come from. I would like you to note. That is something that you should probably do something about. But, so, you've really... Please just understand my level of skepticism here.
It does sound like quite a lot, but I assure you all of it is true.
If it helps, I've been in denial for, frankly, months.
Somewhat. Actually, that is somewhat comforting, yes. I'm going to put this away. And then I'm going to... You've interacted with gods. he's struggling right now. So there's something evil coming and you have interacted with gods, and your intent to stop it is because you've interacted with gods, and I have a dragon in a case in my home, and
maybe one in your living room.
Dragon in my living room. Yes, and a dragon in my living room, and a deadly shadow in a box here that I am about to put away because it needs to be put away, and someone who also deals in shadows, and someone who travels with people that talk to gods and deal with dragons and shadows.
Varen raises her hand. Technically, I've never talked to a god, so that's not really my thing. Just FYI.
Just the terrifying ability to control shadows. Yes, that's a thing. I'm afraid to ask because you've mentioned something about being able to see people's connections before, and I am afraid to find out what you see regarding me, young man. So I'm going to go put this away, and then we are going to have a drink.
I'd like that.
And if I can manage to process this, I will see about helping you. Because if you are telling the truth, and you've spoken to gods, if you are telling the truth, we are very close to a great deal of danger, and my daughter lives here.
Oh, yes.
I really need a drink. And he just kind of leaves you in the living room as he walks off to go put the case away. And that is a good spot for us to take a quick break, to stretch our legs and get some water or tea, and do the stuff. So we will be right back. Bye.
Bye.
we have returned. So we just came back from break. Thank you for anyone who happens to be here. So what essentially has just happened is Tepalpilco has gone to put the shadow box, the shadow case away, and intends to return, where you guys will have a couple of drinks shared, and discuss potential assistance that he might be, and or other things that might be of note to talk between the two sides, essentially, of the conversation. Do you guys have anything that you are intending to do before he returns? There are still guards around, but
Right.
they are not like right behind you. They're essentially just guarding further ways to get into different areas of the house.
So if we had a quiet huddle, we could be semi-private.
Yeah, they wouldn't be able to hear you.
I think we can trust him.
That's great.
I'm inclined to believe you.
I'd been a little worried that he was hoarding artifacts for his own power or gratification or something, but it seems like he's genuinely worried that they might be dangerous if they weren't properly contained, and he's not wrong.
Right. I mean, it doesn't you do.
All right.
Okay. So, after longer than you expected it to take, not like a half hour to an hour, but like longer than it takes to go put something away and come back. He comes back, looks at you specifically, Kale, looks like he's about to say something. Drink first, and goes off to retrieve a bottle. It is a fine crystal glass bottle, faceted, filled with a mostly translucent brown liquid.
Hmm.
And he sets out a variety of cups for everyone to be able to partake if they so choose. Pours himself one, downs it, and then pours another one.
Oh, I'm drinking.
Yes.
Oh, that's her worst thinking when she's drunk.
It is
Amazing.
a very fine aged whiskey.
Ooh.
I'm gonna
Very
reach
fine.
into my bag, and I'm gonna pull out some of the shitty wine that I have had in there for who knows how long.
Just
Did you
a
just-
bit. Just spilled.
Did you spill that on yourself?
No.
On my desk. Luckily not on my
No.
computer. But
No.
yeah, on my desk. Luckily not on my computer. So. Okay.
When
I'm
we
fine.
said spill the tea, we just meant,
Yeah.
tell us about the gossip.
It was just a splash, luckily.
Okay, good.
But yeah. So you were getting the shitty alcohol from your bag?
Yeah, I'm gonna spike my drink.
Okay.
Spike it with shitty alcohol.
This is too good quality for my taste.
Oh, okay.
Amazing.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. He does not seem to take notice or care that you're putting something else into yours. It is because of what you had said. I'd gone over to check on it. It is once again still, but the statue is in a different position. So it has moved. Does that mean something? Just let me know if it means something.
Maybe. I'm not particularly sure how often they can wake. I mean, when they're still dormant. I suppose we could ask Pico, my companion, but like, why he needs to sleep until tomorrow. He's already had. Mm, he's used his energy for today.
Out of character, Bal did attempt to awaken the spirit, so it's entirely reasonable that it has moved.
Yeah, that's true.
It was also just still in its confinement and could not go anywhere.
No, exactly.
Yeah, so he's all right. So as it still seems to be a statue, just a statue in a different position, which is not something I expected. Would you say that we do not need, in the immediacy, to go take it out? I thought you said that if it was going to, that the person would find their way here, and not that it would find its way to a person.
Honestly, there's a lot I still don't know about how the whole process works, though I've done it before myself. You don't remember a lot once you've died and come back. That's why we have guides. You don't get to bring your memories with us when you are reborn.
He takes another long sip.
Yeah, that's fair.
Died and reborn. I want to know. I do. I want to know. But you were implying that it might choose my daughter. And now you're saying something about dying and rebirth. And there is a strong side of me that wants to either banish you and the statue from here, or do something else greatly rash, which I am controlling myself to not to, because that is a very irrational reaction. But there is concern.
Anyone who's chosen, as well, not really chosen, it's more like you chose to be born into this life. I think. As I said, I don't remember a lot of things in between my lives. But if someone was to be a guardian, which is what I am, they would be born into a regular life, grow up, live as anyone else, and then at a certain point their dragon soul within them would awaken, and they would find their guide, which is a companion soul stuck in an object. Because they haven't been reborn, they get to keep more of their memories than guardians. But if your daughter was one of them, she wouldn't, it's not dangerous. She wouldn't die from the process. She could live out a normal lifespan.
Okay. Just a minute. Oh, processing, just a moment. Alright, so I am going to do something that is probably one of the reasons why I did not continue in the profession as it was. I'm going to pretend that there's no personal association with this whatsoever, and that there is no possibility, at least for the moment, that my precious daughter, the most important thing in the world to my existence, might become a dragon. We're just going to set that aside, because I am very, very curious about this entire process and your apparent personal experience with it, which implies that you yourself are a dragon, which explains the tale. Questions can wait. Oh, Chris, questions can wait just a moment. And he takes another sip. So, great evil, and you've spoken to gods, and there's a great evil, and you thought I was someone named the grandmother, and you're putting together a puzzle made of artifact pieces. And you're a being of shadow, but not a being of shadow. And you're a dragon, and you see people's souls or something. What is this great evil that I was dismissive of before, for which I apologize, I suppose? Great evil. Cheers.
I don't know specifically what it is, but it does appear to have the attention of both deity of change and death. So if that does not...
Change and death.
Yeah.
Prominent figures in Pollyanna. Something having to do with the forest everyone is so superstitious of beyond the mountains. Anthropology would suggest that there's blatant connections between such practices and belief systems and the involvement here. And he's just mumbling to himself at this point as he's trying to process everything.
It's a lot to process.
So this... and Ireland is making headway into the territory as well.
If it helps,
Connections.
it's not quite religion.
No. I can humbly say that I am one of the great minds of my generation. Sorry. Even I have trouble saying that without laughing.
Right.
It takes a great mind to be able to see the pieces and sense their importance of these artifacts that I collect that drew your attention here, and be able to properly reassemble them and clean them and make sure that, yes, this seems complete versus this doesn't. I can humbly state that it is a rare occasion that you meet someone that is capable of this. Suffice it to say, I have faith in seeing connections that others might not. And if your implication is that there is some great evil that two deities, at least, have a stake in the handling of, two deities that are inherently connected to the city-state, the territory, that you have been sent to, and that the other major power has a great stake in and is speaking the same story that you are. That would greatly imply that there is some sort of underlying historical information that perhaps they have that we do not. Because how else could they speak to the same story that you are?
That is very true, actually.
Which further implies that either you are extremely skilled under whatever deception to work as a side mission for that same country, or that it is inherently something that is true and thus connected to this area. which means that
We
there
are
should be
not-
proof somewhere.
We aren't working on direct historical records, so you're right that they have the same knowledge that we do, but ours come from much more arcane sources.
Yes. So, if I am to believe which circumstances dictate and visual proof and situations have further supported that you are telling the truth, and that if you are telling the truth, then so too are they, and so too is their connection. There should be more that I can do. There should be more that people can do. But if you would humor me by laying out the information at hand to you, perhaps as an outside perspective, I can connect certain pieces for you.
All right.
You now each have 2 questions that you can ask of me as the GM, that if he could, from the story that you have discovered thus far, answer, he can help you make that connection. And that is 2 questions each. So as you cast exposition,
Yes.
it looks like at least Alina is excited about questions that she's got.
Oh yeah.
My problem is I don't fucking know what I don't know.
Well, why don't we table talk this for a minute? Because
Yeah,
it's been
go
it's been
ahead.
months.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
months. You have a lot of information that has been handed to you, and part of this is me going, let me help give you some extra clues.
Yeah.
Thank
Because we are
you.
coming here because there was a barrier that broke. That Ace
A
was
barrier
involved
that
with?
went up.
Oh, it went up, right?
Yeah.
That Ace was involved with.
Yeah.
And I got a vision about something bad in the southeast in a forest. Fong? Baron? I don't remember.
I mean, I think the thing that Fong would want to know about is why things are popping up in random locations now. Because
Oh yeah, those bubbles?
like the plants that suddenly appeared, and like the Bobby Joe's parent appearing in a place that they weren't supposed to be. I don't know if that would be something that would be answerable by the collector, but that would be where Fong's head's at.
For that, Dubal and Kale reach back into Empyrean Rising level story to lay it out for him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think this is the time and person to know everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I think
do you
Bella
guys?
even goes back to what she knows from her time, both as
Okay.
a sailor and as a royal.
Is there anything that
Ooh.
the rest of the group does not know that you would like to share that you are sharing with him?
If it has not been made, if I have not said it before, Bal is actually, I guess, the closest to a princess that one can be in, what is it, Poliarna? No, it's the other one. Islandess.
Islandess.
Yeah. She was part of an island nation. She doesn't go into all of these details, but this is heavily implied in the conversation as it goes. She was when she was little, her country was sort of politically taken over by Islandess. But during her time at home, she discovered, or she saw that even as far as back when she was a little kid, they were still already looking for specific artifacts. I also mentioned, correct me if I'm wrong, Evie, but isn't there also a specific type of potentially magical, I guess, produce that is being gathered back home as well?
In Benavides, yes.
Yeah.
Uh,
I also mentioned that because I think we eventually, at the end of Empyrean Rising, found out that that was related to the magic of the artifacts or something along those lines.
The artifact was the amplifier, right?
That's correct, which
what
is
they
currently in
wanted?
Fong's possession.
yeah, and
Yeah.
you also, I think, believed that that is where they got some of the material to make the special ammunition from.
That's right. That's also where my bullets come from. Yeah.
Yeah. But your bullets come from Polyarna as well, as you have recently discovered. But yeah. So, would you guys want to come up with your questions and then have me go through that? Or do you want me to go through the answers as you come up with questions? In case, and the reason why I make the first offer is so that you guys can organize your thoughts if you had wanted to.
Yeah. We have so
Yeah.
many questions.
I know.
Yes.
I don't fucking know what to ask. Is the problem?
I know.
Yeah.
So like
Oh.
just again for our memories, we're like, okay, we know there's some evil happening in the forest, which is why we've come all the way to
Yeah.
Polyarna,
Yes.
even though that's away from Islanus,
Yeah.
who is threatening Isenbridge, where some of us are from. We don't know why Fong found us, other than you are magic too.
And also was running from some debt collectors.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Jesus
Kale
Christ.
secretly has found out that you're from the area that they think is near the Grove. But they're not going to reveal that.
Yes. I don't think you realized where that area is, though. Have you made connections as to where Fong is actually from?
I think he made me make like a history roll, and I found out that he's from near where the Grove was.
Yes, but like where on the or where on the country it is, like which territory
Yeah.
it is. I don't know if you
Yeah,
guys have
it's-
figured that out yet.
It's like the swampy. I'm trying to remember the map.
Okay, yeah. So you do know where it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you want me to help you with the things that you have discovered? So that you can figure
Give
out
us a
questions?
quick, very small recap of literally everything we have ever heard ever.
Okay.
Recap the game.
Campaign 1, Islanus, for purposes that are still yet unknown, felt that they needed to usurp power in Isenbridge.
Yeah.
While there, they were looking for artifacts, alchemists, and other knowledge as such. You prevented that from happening. In the meantime, you have now also found out that they have made alliances to make political acquisition, the same way they did with Benavides, to further unify the country. From Tapal, you have also learned that for such, and also partially from Leona, from your callback there, you have learned that they are using essentially the same story that you are as their reason for why the country needs to unify, because they supposedly know what to do about it.
Right.
So they're like unify against this evil that's rising.
Because they supposedly know what to do about it and potentially what it is.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's wild.
Since Empyrean Rising, you have gathered these other two members that for either chance, fate, or destiny have come together with you. And there are strange circles of land and effect, quite literally swapping places all over the continent. This includes where you had lost Sybil. This includes where you had dealt with some issues in that small no-name town. Things like that. You have also learned on the boat that there is some sort of barrier that you guys felt go up.
Yeah.
And it was enough of a disturbance in the world to where it was felt very heavily by Kale and the little copper dragon Pico. It also affected the shadows on Varen when that barrier went up, because they panicked.
Right.
Yeah, they like went wild and like they were panicking. The forest or something beyond it is further infecting Polyerna from the mountains upwards, indicating that it is coming from beyond the mountains, which is one of the reasons why you want to inspect it.
Yeah.
The reason why Val has this thing that she was called to and wants to put together is implied by the god of change and was supported in the background by the god of death, in that it will help to create or complete a barrier. If you remember your dream hallucination of the battle of the dragons versus something in those mountains, a barrier came down, they were fighting, and then it ended with a barrier going up.
Right.
There is something that either is grown or mined in Polyerna that helps to basically boost magic, which is what the drug is made out of and what they have been trading to Islanus. And Islanus has been gradually infiltrating Polyerna to attempt to place influence there. Why, you still do not know.
We don't have a history of what's going on in that shadow forest, but clearly the dragons have fought whatever lives there before. That might be one of Kale's questions.
We do have old sailors' tales, but that's about it.
Yeah.
You have old sailors' tales about like the forest either coming alive or something within the forest eating people or killing them.
And also skeleton hands coming out of the ground.
Yeah.
You have knowledge that the three primary deities that either are currently or have been worshipped in Polyerna, which is kind of, from what you're able to see, being kind of the barrier between this forest and the rest of the continent, being the god of death, Alayar, the god of change, and the god of nature.
Right. Nature, death, and change are all concerned.
Yeah. Beyond that,
Hylanus
individual
wants
story
magic.
stuff.
Yeah. Hylanus wants magic amplification, but they can't get it because we have the amplifier, so maybe they're using these plants to try and boost what they've got? Huh. I'm curious what Islanus is asking. Like, clearly they're trying to get people's aid from other lands, but what's their end goal? Is it like, we're going to strengthen the barrier? Because that sounds like a great thing, actually. Or if it's like, we're going to take whatever's on the other side of the barrier captive and then make it our tool and weapon. That's bad.
That is not something that has been yet revealed to you, so that can be a question if you want it to be.
Yeah.
There is also questions regarding your personal character story arcs that I did not describe in this overarching information, that I am depending on you to remember your own story arcs. That if it's, since a lot of them are still related to the overall plot of the story, if it is related, you could try and get him to help you figure out stuff regarding your own arc.
There's
There's
a
so
part
much
of
to
me
find
that
out.
there's a part of me that wonders, like, and I don't know if this would be a question that he could answer, but if Islandus is like, as far as this information is concerned, like if they just like found little hints, little things that could create fear, so that they could use that as an excuse to seize power over all these other places, and whether or not they actually believe that they need to defend against something. If it was just like oh, this is a believable thing that we could use for us to take over.
Let's go ahead and have everyone make a general knowledge and history roll, because that is not
Ooh.
something that he would be able to tell you,
Okay.
because he is not part of the Islandist government. So he's only got the general rumors, essentially.
And the last of my intellect on this for 2 effort.
Okay.
Only an 8 for me.
I got a 7.
Ooh, nat 20
Nice.
comes in clutch.
Okay. Islandus is very regimented in terms of a city-state. They are the only one that has a standing military in the entire septarchy or heptarchy of Trutinus Reach. They are very rigid and have a lot more standardized beliefs and practices than a lot of the other city-states. And
Like Sparta.
kind of less togas, but
Yeah.
kind of. They are a little bit more in that like Italian Grecian in terms of like their theocracy and everything. They are a central sectioned government. So each of the different territories of the heptarchy of Trutinus Reach have their own governing style. Like Polyerna has the basically gathering of various influence that just trades with all the others. And then Isenbridge had the council. And then Islandus has a primary leader with sections of government underneath them. Most of those have something to do with the military. They have used, as far as you are aware, scare tactics before, and have always had a mind towards the unification of Trutinus Reach, as far as you are aware. They have not, as far as you are aware, been historically tended towards things that might cause division in the Reach, like attempts on the attempting to force things like that, because what they are doing right now could also backfire on them and cause civil war within the
Right.
country. So they do not have a history of that type of behavior. Generally speaking, they are probably not the type that would get a couple of things and use it as, oh my god, scare tactics, panic. They're too organized for that. This is probably something that they have been sitting on, theoretically, based off of everything that you know about them, for a very, very long time.
This is sounding to me like a great leader of a military complex who has found out that there is an enemy that they need to fight, and they're trying to empire build to have more soldiers and resources to fight the coming war.
Yes.
I will
I
lay
will
that out on the table for everybody.
I will further, with that nat 20, imply that if they have been this organized and this regimented and this militaristic, despite the fact that Trutinus Reach has not been at war with any other country for centuries, they've probably held this understanding and known that there was an enemy for as long as they have been organized. And it's just the offset of the fact that magic has started to awaken that offset the current leader's idea of how to handle it.
As though their enemy was asleep while magic did, and now that it's coming back, they're like, okay, it's go time, we need to recruit.
Yes, and we will recruit by any means necessary.
Right. Like annexing other city-states.
And what is Eisenbridge? Eisenbridge is a source of knowledge. Eisenbridge is a source of magical power because during its period of time, and he would be helping you work through this, so I'm going to count it as one of Fong's questions, but Eisenbridge is a source of magical power because, and you would be the one that would realize this, when magic is present, they don't have a leader of the council. They have a mage primary, because that is what he introduced himself as. He was the high mage of Eisenbridge. It was a school of magic and study.
Right. So they've got the military might. They want to annex the arcane might.
Yes.
To fight a magical enemy or enemies?
Mm-hmm.
And it seems to be located within the forest that Varen's shadow points towards.
Yes. And while you guys are continuing to think of questions, I will go ahead and answer his other one, because it might help you to come up with other questions. The other question had to do with the circles of land that were transferring.
Oh, yeah.
And after hearing your entire story, I'm not quite certain. That is strange, though I've heard rumors of it. It reminds me somewhat of the forceful connection of places that your strange devices in Eisenbridge were. Perhaps a mutation of that or something, if all of the transfer seems to be relocating places with power. You mentioned the strange rock that had poisoned a farmland and a place of odd living and attacking you plants, and then swamp-like area from that took your friend. If all of that does sound somewhat like various areas of altitude within what I would theorize to be a forest, perhaps it's attempting to reach out, whatever it is that's beyond there.
To places of power in other lands and bring them in to its control, perhaps.
Just a moment. Hello, thank you, Pocket Dragon Pub. Thank you for the raid. Vixie! We love Vixie. Pocket Dragon Pub, amazing other channel. Let's do a shout out, actually. Can one of my mods shout them out, please? They run a variety of wonderful games and have also been a cipher creator and did a very fun Modern Magic campaign previously. So yeah, we love Pocket Dragon Pub over there. They've got some great things. I think I saw you on earlier doing some Pride Month stuff. Happy Pride!
Nice.
Very
Pride.
cool. Yeah. So what we are currently doing? Hi, we are Alter Deco Archives. We run primarily Cypher System games over here. This is our fantasy adventure style game with my beautiful and wonderful players. Empyrean, which their links are in chat now for if you wanted to follow any of them and support them in any way. We are currently on episode 26. The characters have run into a high-ranking NPC that they have just managed to turn into their aide, essentially their ally. That can provide them with a variety of artifacts and information, and they are taking the opportunity that I have provided to be able to ask the GM a couple of questions to help them further organize the story that they have discovered thus far. Yeah. Pride Month!
There's a lot of info.
There is a lot of info because this is a sequel campaign, so it's a lot of info that they're trying to piece together. So what you have just kind of put together is that this enemy city-state within the Heptarchy of Trutinus Reach, which is the setting that they are currently in, has been the organized militaristic type of city-state within this country, this peninsula country, for centuries at this point, as far as you are aware, that seem to, if your nat 20 major effect implies correctly, potentially have some sort of historical knowledge of this big enemy that you guys are currently targeting was going to come back at some point, and that they needed to be ready. And very likely the way that they are handling things now, which is not great, is because it is the current leader's idea of how to prepare for the big bad.
Right, so if all this information is true, then I think that I might be in agreement with what they're doing, but not how they're doing it.
Further information that you had also just discovered from the other question from Fong was that the magical circles that have been appearing across the, as far as you know, country, possibly further, are displaced and switched areas from maybe the forest or maybe other areas of power where a magical surge causes them to flop places. That's not something that he knows a whole hell of a lot about. He hasn't inspected them, and it's not something that he has run into before, so he couldn't help too terribly much with that. But it would make sense to him if he's making that connection.
Right. I will be right back. I'm just going to switch my headset. Mine is dying.
Also, Raiders, if you need to step away, stretch your legs, get something to drink, if you need to raid and run, we totally understand. Self-care is the important part here. But yeah.
I'm going to be so honest, all of this is going in one ear and out the other.
Yeah.
For me, my brain is so tired from the work week.
Yeah.
I was going to be like, actually, I have a question. Who's in charge of Islanders? But fucking Bal would know that.
Oh.
That's not, that would be a waste of a question. Yeah. I got nothing.
Okay. Varen, do you have any? And remember, these don't have to be just about the overarching game plot. It can have to do with your character arc and its connection to it, because a lot of your character arcs have been tied in.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Trying to thing. I'm very much like a, oh gosh, what do I ask now?
Yeah. I did spring the ability onto you guys, but
To ask questions about the game over plot.
game over plot,
Yes.
character involvement in the game over plot.
Well, clearly, Varen, you've got a connection to the forest.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking about like what is the connection, but like I want it to be a little bit more focused than just like a general like what's the deal? What's the deal with all of this forest shadow?
Like, what's going on in that forest?
Yeah.
Something that's been lurking for centuries, clearly.
Yeah.
You could ask if he's been there and has any experience on what's on the other side of the mountains.
Ooh.
Ooh, true, because I don't think Baron would know that.
Yeah, Varen
Yeah, you've never been.
hasn't even quite traveled this far along this edge of the mountains. Most of yours would have been more north or more central to the city-state. Because this is the other side of the river from where you were.
Yeah. I guess that would be my question is it seems like whatever's going on in the forest is like somehow linked with everything that's been I mean, I know with like the rise of magic that there is like political stuff going on, but it seems to me like whatever is out there seems to be related somehow. And that's like kind of where I'm stuck as a character trying to like figure out what threads, why those threads are connecting in the way that they are.
Okay. With that, he'd probably sit back with his mostly empty at this point second glass of whiskey. I've only been close to the forest once, really. It was one of the archaeological digs and researches that we were doing along the mountains at what seemed to be a former battle site or something. There were a good deal of bits of armor and the occasional very damaged artifact, nothing salvageable from there, which, as you can understand, was somewhat of a disappointment to me. We did venture further against the advice of the priest that had been there at the time. But I don't want to say that it was dark, because it wasn't. It was lush. The forest was very alive but strange. The trees grew twisted and the plants all had odd colorations to them. The soil was darker than you would expect, being so close to such vibrant soil here. And there was an odd sense of, I don't want to say unease.
But
It's hard to explain. There was reason for us to come back. There was a little bit of unease, but mostly curiosity on my part to see if the battle had ranged any further, and perhaps there would be more interesting finds further down the mountain, but there was almost an air of antagonism among the assistants that we had there, and one of the other researchers, actually. We ended up coming back when the infighting became too strong, and one of them attempted to kill the other.
Kind of like a corruption.
Factoring in the fact that magic is more than just physical, that's entirely possible. It was not something that I had really considered at the time, but I would say that it looks like a still living and very vibrant, or it did at the time. This was a good 10 or so years ago. But it looked vibrant, if twisted, strangely coloured, and while there was a heavy sense to the air there, and people very easily became irritable, I initially brushed that off as humidity and working too long and too far away from home. But these were people that had worked together for years, and to go within 3 days' time from a little irritated and working and hoping to find something good to nearly murdering each other, that is reason to believe that there was something in the air there. Sorry.
That's very concerning.
The priest was the only one that didn't seem affected.
What kind of priests were they?
It's been a while. I think they were a travelling priest of Paradoha, actually, which would connect you in to that.
Kale immediately looks over at Paul.
Interesting. Said they were unaffected by it.
Yes, they were the one that actually tackled the person before they could stab the other one.
Not surprising.
Also looks at Paul and is like, interesting. So it sounds like good idea to take you with us up there, Paul. Not that we would leave you wherever we go, but it sounds like definitely whatever this is, it's somehow whatever it is that you do and believe seems to be stronger than whatever it is up there.
I don't have much in the way of religious texts, but I do believe there might be someone that I can connect you to. They live in a bit of hermitage closer to the mountains that has a good bit of historical religious text and practice that they study.
I believe we know of this person.
Well, then, I'll send you along with a letter of note from myself to further show yourselves as individuals working with some sort of connected authority.
That would be very useful, thank you. We don't always make the best first impression.
As I've experienced in depth. Any other questions for the GM?
Not at the
mean,
moment.
Kale really wants to know the history, because it sounds like there's a cycle of whatever this is rising and then having to be fought by various people. Sometimes dragons, sometimes humans.
Well, you do have one of
One
the
question.
individuals of the school of thought that it does cycle
Yeah.
in front of you instead of one of the believers that it didn't cycle. So you wanted to know what he can tell you of that, or
Yeah, I want to know sort of like references to historical battles at this forest. It sounds like the foe has risen many times, and I'm like laying this out to him and be like, I have memories that have arisen of great forces of dragons going to this forest to fight something unknown. And it seems as though you didn't find the bones of dragons there, but the bones of men. So others have also foreseen this evil in other cycles of magic rising and fought against it.
I wouldn't say that I really found bones myself. We found armor more than anything.
Things that cannot be broken down by plants.
Yes. Yes, actually. Not so much in the organic materials, actually. That is an excellent point.
That makes sense if the forest is the thing that is corrupted.
We placed that particular site perhaps an age or two ago. So I don't know that it actually happened based off of the looking at it based off of the corrosion, which could have honestly actually that does bring into question if the forest is more corrosive. We had initially placed it perhaps 2 magical cycles ago, but if it is more corruptive, then perhaps that advanced things and it was only in the last. In terms of cycles of battles, there have only been 1 or 2 sites that were found because most research isn't really done there because of a variety of superstition and the willingness of workers to go. Sorry, my meds are wearing off.
Oh no.
No, no.
But as I said, the archaeology of it is more of my brother's purview, and initially we had not been speaking because of his belief and tie-in with Islandess's rumours of this happening.
Right.
Which I now understand is a fault of mine for disregarding his understanding of it so greatly. I will have to reach out to him. But I am an
If you could mark
anthropologist.
those sites on our map,
I can do
I
better.
have a theory forming. Oh, can you?
I am an anthropologist. I am not an archaeologist. My study is the patterns and ways of society. I do have a variety of writings on the adjustment and shift in society over time, including its connection to the cycles of magic because of my individual interest in the artifacts and their connections. So I could allow you to, with the understanding that you don't take anything or damage anything, I could allow you into my workshop, actually, which has a number of items and books and theories that we could attempt to connect for potentially how long this has been happening. And yes, I could mark those locations that
please.
I have been to, but
if I could beg your hospitality for the night, I think that is something that is not my purview as much as of my companion Pico's. He seems to have a lot more knowledge of cycles past than I have access to.
Yes.
And once he is ready to awake again, I think he could help us go through those notes.
Yes. I'm remembering something about something from a temple.
I've got an idea that is a little bit out there, but I have not had that stop me before. What if I attempt to call forth spirits from the previous ages?
I
And turn
suppose we
to
could speak to them.
yes, I know the language. Plus, we hold their items in our possession, their writings. As long as I hold an object, I believe I should be able to at least attempt to call them forth. We could get information directly from the source.
And we would be seeing spirits. All right, this is something that I honestly should have expected after everything that we've discussed. He downs the rest of his drink. In the morning, perhaps.
We have that effect.
In the morning, perhaps, but yes, we shall do that. And I probably should not have drank that much that quickly. But I'm remembering something.
It is rather a lot to deal
about
with.
the writing in, I don't know if it was a temple to Alaya or a temple to, I don't think it was Alaya, it was something. There was a temple at the base of one of the mountains. I don't quite remember where it is at the moment, that had some sort of ominous writing that I always thought was honestly just a way to control the followers, because you know how those things go. But what was it? It was something about Ascension's fall leading to the corruption of many or something. But corruption and the
Right.
forest does seem to be sparking that memory. I'm sure that I've got it in a journal somewhere.
I mean, I'm sure I don't have to tell any of you, and Kat looks at the rest of the group, that the idea of a corrupted forest is very distressing to me, as is the bubble's similarities to the teleportation magic in Eisenbridge. Fear we have a deep connection to this.
Well, as you know, at least the statue that you are of concern with was not found there. So, if that helps your concern about dragons being near the corruption, perhaps it was.
I have a question.
What's up?
I would like to know if this individual knows about anybody who might have attempted to become a god in the past.
Asking them big questions.
I mean, I'm certain that people have, but that might be something to do with that tablet. There are stories in most cultures about the ascension or transition from the small everyday into great power, be that godhood or sainthood to some, or becoming one with nature for others.
Right.
I think in terms of trueness, the last story of some sort of ascension of that nature, at least that's widely spoken of in the histories, would probably be the god of creation. He's not particularly well known anymore, but perhaps an age or two ago, there's stories of a god being ascended from some wandering vagabond who had a knack for creating things. And for a long while, at least, there was an entire cult around it that worshipped them. I can't quite remember the name. They've fallen to the annals of history. But that something about crafters and smiths and the like worshipping them. And then, probably due to this individual likely being just a particularly powerful mage or creature of some kind during one of the periods of magic, it fell off maybe 2 cycles ago, as far as I'm aware.
Right, so we need to find that name, right?
It could be, if you believe it to be connected, but I think
It might be.
they were popular. I think it was popular in Venia.
Venia.
Venia is the other, if you don't remember from the
Yeah.
territories, is the other primarily agricultural area on the kind of northeast side of the mountains from Isenbridge.
Cool. And across from Canagal, where somebody's from, I know nothing. I said nothing.
I wonder who.
It's a
Wait,
mystery.
isn't that place by the forest, or am I misremembering its location?
Canagal
Either that
is
or-
the swampy, foresty area to the north.
Right, but the other place you mentioned.
Venia.
Oh,
Yeah.
Venia is on the opposite side of the mountains from that, because the mountains go like all
Right.
along the peninsula. It's just that they block off the very bottom portion of it.
Right. Okay. Hmm.
Kitty,
right.
kitty tail.
He's so fluffy.
Yeah. It's, can't quite remember the name. It didn't stick around long enough for worship to become widespread.
Interesting.
There might be
If it's
another.
possible.
I'm not sure.
Hmm.
I'm sure there's others that have made the attempt or attempted to form their own small cults of some kind.
They could
It's
be very.
possible to become a god. Oh, go ahead.
I'm not sure if it's actually possible to become a god, but it's certainly possible to create a cult around power.
I would imagine if there is something that multiple deities are wishing to stop, and they require people like me to do something about it, it would be something pretty powerful.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, and I was. If it's possible to attempt to become a god, it's also possible for it to go very wrong, which
My
sounds
thought
like
is
what
too.
might have happened.
My thought is, if there is something related to ascension, there's very few places you could go up that is not deific in a world of
And
magic,
you-
at least.
And you would need a place of power to attempt to do something like that.
And if you fail, that could rend the world as we know it.
Do you think it's that
I-
same one that fell off?
I have an unfortunate thought that perhaps we're not just working with the aftermath, but perhaps reinforcing a barrier around something still trying. When there's no magic around, it doesn't matter. But magic's back. so I can continue to try.
It seems like previous generations have,
Ominous.
previous cycles have all had to fight this battle.
Very ominous. We will research. We will also sleep. I will have dinner made and served. I think that I need a good evening to drink this trauma into its own little corner of my mind. And with that, I'm going to actually call session because we are at the end of what we would normally do. Because not everybody got to ask all their questions, and is possibly thinking of questions that they might want, I'm going to extend the him helping you guys figure stuff out into the next session, and you have time to think about it until then. But yes,
Time and a Discord channel to talk about things.
yes, you do. You have plenty of locations to figure things out and plan between sessions. But let's go ahead and go around saying where you can find us, what we do, etc. And then we will find a channel to raid. Let's start with Matt.
Thank you. My name is Matt, he, him. Today I played Fang Wu, he, they, the risk-taking warrior who sometimes fights who fights with panache and sometimes walks through walls.
Who sometimes fights.
Sometimes fights.
Sometimes does
And-
things.
Walks through walls with panache.
Yes. And when he
Sometimes
does fight,
smashes
when
through
he
walls.
does fight though,
Yes.
it's impressive.
But you can find me everywhere as Improv and RPG. Thank y'all so much for having me. Y'all are wonderful. And I will popcorn it over to Amanda.
Oh, hello everyone. I had to find my mute button. My name is Amanda, aka Panda Cabra, she, her, and I have been Baron Leck, the weird adept who dances with dark matter and siphons power. You can find me here every other Sunday playing in the Empyrean Wild campaign, as well as every other Friday evening as part of our Once Upon a Reflection campaign, playing Rosa and Thorn, the explorer princess who masters the swarm. Other than that, you can mostly find me hanging around on our Discord server, usually around in some capacity on Discord. Not really doing too much other than that, though, but feel free to come by, say hi. I also have Blue Sky. Find me over there, pandacabra.bsky.social. I think is the link for that. Joel, your turn.
Hello. I was Joel today. I am was Bal Misfortune today also. I'm very good at words. You can catch me here every other Sunday, playing Bal. You can also catch me here every Friday playing two different characters. One Friday, one character, one Friday, the other. I'm gonna explain that a little bit more less complicated now. This coming Friday, I'm supposed to be well, that's a complicated situation. So I'm supposed to be here for Once Upon a Reflection. I don't know if I'll be able to because I am currently in the summertime, which means that I'm gonna be I can't promise that I'll be arriving on time. I think based on my schedule and what I have seen so far, I should be able to make it at least for about halfway through the first section, like before break. But also, if my boss decides that he wants to kidnap me again, then it's gonna happen. So for the next Friday, I'm gonna be playing. Normally is the dynamic duo of Juan Ferreira and his Chihuahua, Mr. Fluffington. But Mr. Fluffington is not available right now, so it's just Juan, still in the Chihuahua body. That's great. That's a great time. And then on the following Fridays, opposite to Once Upon a Reflection, I'm going to, in theory, be playing a character. I don't have a full. I think I did. Oh yeah, I settled for La Luz de la Luna, which is their full name, translates to moonlight. A flutter who fucking does things. This is for either engines. That is what it's called, right? My brain decided not to register that as like words. Uh, I wasn't there last Friday, unfortunately. Hopefully I'll be there next Friday. Not this Friday, the one after that one. I will also try to be there for this Friday, but for a different game. But it's not the other game that I mentioned. I'm gonna pass it over to Alina.
You're doing great, sweetie.
That's me. Hey, everybody. I am Alina. I have been playing Kale. We are both they, them. I'm also in Once Upon Reflection. You can come check me out this Friday where I'm playing Vrak or their real world alter ego Sev. They are just a little gremlin rock star. They're a mess. I love them. They're very different from Kale. Come check me out there. I will be playing with the rest of these fine folks. Yeah, that's it for me. You can find me online, alinapete.com, list of all the books that I have out for sale. Lots of different genres and styles, mostly comic books. I'm at Alina Pete at Blue Sky, and also I have some of my artwork in a game on Steam that is currently out for wishlisting called Suncatcher. So it's by a little queer-led indie studio. It's super, super cool. They got me to do some of the character art and a couple of backgrounds, and I'm super excited about it. So go wishlist it. It super helps them out. You don't have to spend any money on it yet. Just click a button. It'll be a huge help. Thank you. And then pass it back over to Evie.
Very cool. Alina is also the character artist for this game and for Once Upon a Reflection. So the characters that you see on screen and that have been cycling through. Great work. Hire Alina to do things. I am Evie, the Disaster GM. I'm the director of Alter Deco Archives and the GM for our 3 primary campaigns. So I'm the mind behind the world that torches the characters. Yeah, so generally you can find me here. Next weekend we are continuing, yet again, my guest spot on Fuzka's channel, where I am guesting. I promise it's guesting as Cam during a big battle in her D&D campaign, Difficult Terrain. So you can also catch me over there on Saturday evening, assuming that the schedule works out and we're able to continue / hopefully finish the fight against a entire horde of both demons and devils that are attempting to capture a tornado of souls. It's a thing. Yeah. Yeah, so we will see if my character survives that and if the fight is able to be won against these various souls, because we also just finished a very big fight against a boss level dragon. So we went into it a little injured. But yeah, so catch me over there or catch me here. You can also join our Discord if you want to chat with any of us on Discord, especially while they are making plans for figuring stuff out for what's going on with the plot of the game. But we are going to actually raid over into Behold Roleplay, which is playing Pathfinder at the moment. So stick around if you're on Twitch, and we will see you next time. Bye!